Welcome. In this video I'm going to show you how you can perform a one sample trimmed mean test, also known as a Yuan or Yuen-Welch test, using R. Usually this test is done for independent samples, but it can also be done with one sample. I'm using Jupyter Lab with R version 4.3 with some basic packages that come with R installed. The code should actually also work in something like RStudio. Now this is a test for a one sample, and in this case average. So it's similar like a student t-test, but now it's using the trimmed mean and the winterized variance. So the assumption is still the same, that the population mean will be equal to a specified value. Now there are actually two variations that I've come across of this test, and they're slightly different in their calculations for the standard error. Now I have a separate video where I show you how you can do this with my stikpet R library, but in this video I'm going to show you how you can do it without my own library. To show you, I'll need some example data, which I'm going to load from the General Social Survey 2012, slightly adapted for some example purposes. I actually don't need all the data, I just simply need one scale field. So age is actually a good field for this. However, it has a 89 or older category, so I'm going to use replace to actually simply change those to 89 and make sure everything is numeric. So that's all stored under scale field, so that's simply now a data frame series with just numbers. The hypothesized mean I'm going to be using is 50, so I'm going to assume that in the population the average age would be 50. In a separate video, like I mentioned, I'll show you how you can actually do this with my own library, which simply has a function for this and can actually do both variations. But in this video, I'll show you how you can do it with other libraries. For example, DeskTools actually has a library called UNT-test. So we need to install and load that library, and then you can use their function. With the field name, it needs the hypothesized mean and how much you actually want to trim. I get a small version because I'm using an older version of R, but here's the result, and the big value that we're really after is this 1.084. E minus 0.7 means I need to divide this by 10 to the power of 7, which is extremely low. And for the paired data, I should get the same result. So again, I'll install the library if you haven't done that before, and then you can actually load it. Then use the function UNT-test. The field, again, the same parameters, but now they call it TR for short for trimmed, also 5%. I get quite some more warnings because this actually loads some other libraries as well, but eventually, as you might see, we get that same result. If you don't want to use any libraries, we could do this the hard way. This is actually the formula, and the standard error normally would be this one, but we're going to change that for this test slightly. The first thing we need is the total sample size, which we can simply obtain by using the length function. And then I need to set the proportion to trim. I'm going to set it for the proportion for each side. So in this case, this is 5% for each side, so 10% in total. And to see how many scores are then left, we can simply say n times and then that proportion, or actually how many we should trim, sorry, not how many are left, so actually how many to remove from each side. We round that value down, so we can use the floor function for that, and that gives us that we actually have to remove 98 values from each side. That remains then 2 times that 98. We subtract that from the total sample size, and that's how many scores will then actually remain. So that's 1,773. The trimmed mean is then actually the average of all those scores that remain. For that, we first sort the values, so I'm going to call those y, and then all the values that remain. So I'm going to be using the sort function, and then simply select the sum of the range that is actually still in there, and then divide it by the number of scores that remain in there. We also need the winterized mean actually, which is fairly similar, but instead of removing the scores that are below or above the ones we're trimming, it actually replaces it with the nearest value that's not being replaced, so that's not being removed. So that's what this formula actually does, and we have all these variables that are in there, so we can simply plug it in R and get the result there. As you might notice, it changes a little bit, not that much, but still a little bit. Now, the last thing we actually need is the sum of squared differences with the Winsorized mean. So for that we can use this long formula. Actually, this is just the left part are the lower values, the right part are the trimmed values that got replaced, the higher ones, and last but not least everything else that remains in there. And each score of those we subtract the Winsorized mean from and then square the result. So it's the total squared difference with the Winsorized mean. Then the first standard error method, I call it the Yuen method. It's actually also found in Tukey and McLaughlin. Uses this formula. We have everything we need. We can use as a square root and just put something to the power of a half if you want. That gives the same result. And the Wilcox version is slightly different, as you might notice. But again, here we have everything we need, so we can simply actually use that formula. And as you see, they're slightly different, so they will get slightly different results. Finally, the t-value is then our trimmed mean minus the hypothesized mean divided over the standard error. And since we have two variations, I'll simply print both of them. The degrees of freedom is set to be the number of scores we used for the trimmed mean, -1, so that's fairly straightforward. And finally, we can use the cumulative distribution function for the t distribution, that's pt, and feed it the t statistic and our degrees of freedom. I'll simply multiply this by 2. Actually, what I should do is I should actually do this like 2 times and then 1 minus, and then the absolute value of that t value. That's actually a better way of doing this, a more generic way. And the same thing here, and just change this to a 2. And that hopefully works. I think it has an ABS function. Yep, there we go. And as you might notice, this last one is the same result as we saw with the other two libraries. It's far below the 0.05 threshold, so we reject the assumption that the population mean is 50 and conclude there's a significant difference from 50. Alright, I hope this video was helpful and thank you for watching.